Welcome to Band Bourbon and Cigars, where we talk marching band experiences and life situations. I'm your drum major of the podcast, Mr. Reggie, and we have the rock of the podcast, Mr. Herb himself, also known as 0 to 10. And we have Miss Thick herself over there. Miss Fan said, hello, Miss Hula Hoop Queen herself, David. Hey, listen here. Check out this one. Check out this one. Y'all gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna like, how did he get this person to get on this podcast? This person is an enthusiastic educator, consultant, and lifelong learner, hailing from the Lexington. Hold on, let me do it. Lextown, Lexington, Kentucky. She is a proud graduate of Kentucky State University, where she earned a Bachelor's of Arts in Apparel Retail Marketing with a specialization in business. Driven by a commitment to educational excellence, she went on to complete a Master's of Science in Higher Education with a focus on enrollment management and institutional marketing. She is dedicated to advancing the field of education through innovative strategies and research. As an independent educational consultant, she works with a diverse range of students who want to continue their education. In addition to professional achievement, this person is also a proud mother to one son, my man, little nephew, Sean, a current student at TSU, Tennessee State University. Drum roll, please. I present to you Miss Racquel. Hey.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. You didn't have to twist my arm, Reggie.
What?
I'm more than happy to, jump
What
on.
up, though? What up, though? Well, you
Hey,
already
living-
know. Come on now. You already
Like
know.
living a dream.
Most people
you
that
know?
most people that know you and now they're like, now how the hell did them two get to talking? And that's going to get her on this damn podcast.
Hey,
This is going to be very interesting.
I'm all about supporting people's grind, hustle. Hey, I'm here for it.
That's what's up. Now we go. Oh, I'm gonna wait. Wait, I'm gonna tell a damn story about your ass. Oh, I'm gonna wait till the rest of the podcast go on before I tell this story. Mm-hmm. Miss Thick Girl, do it better. What you mean? Okay, you right. I no lie. Thick girls do it right, baby. They want to play around.
Yes, we do. I don't know exactly what we all do better, but whatever. Everything.
Weta Beretta.
He
For
said,
real.
Beretta?
Weta Beretta.
Yes, wetter more better, baby. Wetter more better.
Oh, that's what he said. I thought he said Beretta. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
The wetter, the better. Like it moist.
With that thing in the wash machine out. Gotta wash them
Hate
sheets.
that word. Ugh. Anyway, Racquel,
Yes.
it's nice to finally meet you. I've heard
Nice to
nice
meet you as
things
well.
about you.
I hope you heard good things. I don't know what these two.
Well, they haven't told me anything bad about you.
Okay,
See?
good.
So hopefully I'll get some more funny stories.
What? We good people now.
Yeah, we are good.
So
We
tell me,
good.
So the first question I want to ask you, how
Okay.
would you define you? How would you define yourself?
God, I have to say resilient. The last 8 years, I fell into my purpose, but while falling into my purpose, I was diagnosed with epilepsy, and turning 40. Whoever thinks that you get a diagnosis like that, but I did, and so I just say resilient, because you have to, in those kind of times, you have to learn to keep fighting, keep pushing. So I would say resilient.
Wow. So you
Yeah,
just got
it's-
your
it's-
diagnosis recently.
Yeah, 8 years. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, Reggie?
I won't say, man, it's like we live life the way that we live life, and then you just go in and you feel straight, and they make these little things like I was just diagnosed as being a pre-diabetic and then anemic. But they keep saying you're right on the borderline though, but you this and that. I'm like, man, I mean, I got to change everything, all
Absolutely.
the diets, all that kind of shit, just so so
Yeah.
live a longer now, you know.
It's, I have to say, like, I choose times where I'm going all in. I'm having fun. Like homecoming, did it big. Thursday to Sunday, did it really big. And now it's like, well, Thanksgiving's coming, so let me rest up. Let me can't do all the things. But yeah, you're right. When you get these kind of diagnoses, or you have to pivot in life later in life, you do have to learn. And it's been interesting.
It's hard.
Very much so. You
It is
learn
hard.
you learn your triggers that you may have ignored, thinking, oh, it's just life, getting older. But then, really looking like, wait a minute, no one's supposed to have a migraine for 2 weeks. No one is supposed to, deja vu. You're not supposed to have deja vu and continue to go through life kind of in your mind. You're not reliving that day, but you're actually reliving the day, and everybody's watching like, what's really going on? So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. I know that you mentioned something else within that, and in my new journey now, I've understand my purpose of life, right? And I've been living in that purpose, and that's every day is to as many people as possible to bring them more closer to God, and allow people to understand the Word of God, and understanding that you are loved, right? And that even though you go through these pains and hurts and traumas and dramas in life, that it's okay even at this particular age. So no matter what we did when we were young and things like that, the drinking and drugging and all those type of things, that you can also change your life. It can't stop. So I understand that if people say like, "Well, shit, Rich Anderson, he stopped drinking, he stopped partying like that, he stopped doing this, and he ain't got this," then maybe I can do it too. Saying understanding that purpose. What is your purpose? You mentioned about your purpose. What is your new purpose?
Education. Growing up, I always heard you'll be either a great lawyer or a great teacher. And I was like, be no teacher. No. So I was accepted to Jackson, had a full scholarship for the biology department. In my mind, I was going, I was like, I can do this. I can do my sports medicine stuff. That was my plan. My parents was like, you ain't going to Mississippi? We don't know nobody in Mississippi. And, still in the age where there were no cell phones or, computer, nobody, what we live in now was foreign. And so I did get accepted to K-State, and my parents like, you can go right on down the street. We went down the street for school. Everybody else in the family went down the street. You can go. I was not happy, but that's how I ended up, I ended up at K-State doing double major in chemistry and biology. And then I got into it, and I did okay. The work wasn't hard, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't, going through the motions. And so I kind of just got a degree to graduate, but then I knew I wanted to do higher ed before I graduated. Because I was student ambassador the whole time I was at K-State from my freshman year up until I graduated. And being told by the director at the time of admissions when I graduated, he was like, you're not a good fit because you're a single mom. So I kind of tumbled through working through my major, but always, cousins or, friends would be like, hey, I know you did this in college, can you help me? So I was always helping people go to school, or I stayed in contact with a lot of people I did tours with. And so I was always talking to people, helping people, navigate college. And so just happened when I was working full-time at Burlington, Miss Watson walked in and she said, I'm the interim director of admissions. Come on, you got the job. Just come, show up. We're going to do the formalities, but I'm hiring you. I don't care. And it just, everything clicked. It clicked overnight.
That's what's up.
Wow.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, I feel like I had to go through all those things so that I can tell somebody, hey, you can get a degree in anything, but God's always going to put you where you're supposed to be at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
Your purpose is your purpose, and you can run from it. You can do it a different way, but you're always going to end up where you're supposed to be. So
Absolutely.
Wow. It's a powerful testimony you got there. I
Mhm.
was really taken aback by the statement he said you're not a good candidate because you're a single
Yeah.
mother. And to me, that seems like that should have made you the perfect candidate because
Absolutely.
mother, we are very
Right.
resourceful, you know.
And I have look, I had I had still do a very strong village. Like my son got to experience my grandparents, and so my mom's mom used to keep Deshaun up until he was in first grade. Like Deshaun didn't go to daycare,
Mm-hmm.
and then by the time Deshaun got into elementary school, my mom had retired.
Mhm.
She worked 30 years at GE, and so she retired. And so I've always had like my cousins, every they was like Deshaun is the first. He wasn't the first great grandchild or great nephew, but I always said I wasn't gonna have kids. So they were like, "We got you." It was really the running joke because I said I didn't want kids. I just knew I was gonna be everybody's rich auntie. I was gonna travel. I was gonna live life, do my thing, and so I had a very good network, very good network.
And then
And
life hit.
it,
Hey, I said, then life hit you. Hey,
And
all
like,
that,
yeah, like, I
yeah,
mean,
it
it is
happens.
what it is.
Mhm.
Right. But I feel like if I would have got that job right out of college, I don't think that I would have went on to get my master's. I just don't think those things would have happened the way they did. So I I'm grateful for it. It's funny now because he's at Wilberforce and he's like, I know I can't afford you on my staff. No, you can't. You can't. He's a VP and he was like, I know I can't afford you. No.
Like you're right.
Hey, know your worth.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, you know, um, since we're being transparent, I was offered a job at Simmons last year. Went
Mhm.
and was like, this ain't it.
Mhm. And that's the thing too, is that people think that when we get into positions, that's the end all be all, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not. And you
Mm-mm.
can have these experiences. Just go, and if it's
Oh,
not a
absolutely.
good fit for you, you can leave. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
There's
it's
nothing
crazy
wrong.
because I got there and everybody was like, oh my God, you know exactly. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And the guy that was the director, he was intimidated because we had a meeting, we did a presentation to some students, and he was like, yeah, I didn't like my master's program and I just fell into higher ed. No, you don't just fall into, you
Mhm.
don't, because
Mhm.
if you're not passionate about the thing that you're working in, you're gonna jam somebody up.
Yep.
You're gonna jam
Mhm.
somebody up,
Mhm.
Mhm.
especially
That's
when it's education.
Mhm.
You education is too expensive. So Simmons, I knew it wasn't the right fit. So a month later, I was out. And then, I was like, I'm gonna start my own business, but I drug my feet. And then I got asked to work with a nonprofit working with a postgraduate sports program that just came to Louisville. I did that
Mhm.
for a year, traveling around with knuckleheads. They play football, we everywhere. So it folded. And so now I said, I'm just gonna step out on faith and do my thing.
There
So
you go.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Wow. Well, I wish you a lot of luck and blessings in stepping out on faith and doing your own thing because there's definitely lots of room and
Mhm.
opportunity for entrepreneurs. I know that much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that
Mhm.
being an independent education consultant, it can go in many different ways, but the main reason is I wanted to do this because you got a lot of students, African Americans, non-traditional, traditional students who can't afford these services. These services run between $140 and $175 an hour. And
Okay.
white parents dropping money quick. So the goal for me is to work with those students, those adults who don't have the money, don't have the resources,
Okay.
because it's all gonna pay out.
I
Now
was
you
gonna ask
mentioned about
you professionally. You said you are an what was your title again?
Independent education consultant. So basically, I help people go to college, find the resources. I take them step by step. So instead of them just kind of applying and kind of fumbling through the process, I help guide them step by step, helping them find resources, helping them with essay writing, helping them with standardized tests, anything that they need to move forward in the process for education. That's what I do.
Okay.
And that's why like people dropping the money for these coaches for their kids.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned about being an epileptic. How does that play a part in you working and helping these students out?
it is I have to consciously listen to my body. Mid-September, I started to get headaches again. And so I know with me, my trigger, when I start getting headaches regularly, before this, I'll be like, the weather's changing, sinuses. But now it goes from, if I can't get rid of it in a couple of hours, I know that I'm probably going to go to the hospital. Because a lingering migraine can turn into the swelling, retaining of the fluid, and then mine usually start in the frontal lobe. My seizures, I have grand mal seizures, so I don't know they're happening, and it's usually in my sleep. So the last one was in 2019 when I was working in West Virginia at West Virginia State, and I was found in my apartment non-responsive. So,
so what do you have in place for during the time while you're asleep to be able to detect? I've seen different things like on TV where they might have a dog or like some kind of way to alert somebody that you're in the middle of a seizure. Do you have any protocols like that in place?
I don't have a service animal. I don't, I live by myself. I mean, I'm an empty nester, but I do. My parents, have access to all of my things. They're my emergency contacts. Normally, if I don't answer, or how can I say, like if I'm sick, I already tell my mom, like, hey, I'm not feeling good. So she'll be like, well, just come to the house, or those kind of things. But if I'm not feeling good and I'm at home, she'll just be like, just let me know. She can get in. I feel like at first, when it first happened, I moved back home, didn't go nowhere, those kind of things. And I had to tell myself, you got to still live life. You can't be scared. And so the one thing is my mom and dad have access.
Okay.
I tell them when I'm not feeling good, they can get in and get to me. But the one thing is not being stubborn and really listening to my body and learning my triggers and being proactive. I walk around with a water bottle. I can tell you I drink more water than I'm supposed to. That you're really supposed to, but not being hydrated. That's another thing. Being dehydrated is a trigger. The migraine stress. So I definitely try to stay even keel. It's hard, but the what is it? The wonders of medicine. If I don't have my Zoloft and I start going left, most people know she ain't took some of her medicine. She got to get it together. Okay. So I just try to be proactive in my health. Yeah, that's pretty much what's is kind of set up. It's hard to, how can I say this? Being an empty nester, I love living life. I love traveling. And so I always have a part-time job. And so I sometimes, when I'm feeling good, like no issues, I don't have that balance. So like I work at Amazon part-time. Okay. And sometimes I can work up to 40 hours a week on top of my other stuff. And so when I feel like right now, I feel great. Like I'm not having any issues. And so I don't feel no pain.
But you be going to parties all the time.
I'm hey. I make time. So like I had just moved back. I moved back to Lexington, and when I was up in Louisville, kind of doing my thing, and going to the little casino, cigar lounge, hanging out, going to events. You make time for what you want and having fun and living life. working.
regardless of what's going on in your life.
You have
know,
to. My thing is, I'm not gonna let epilepsy be this thing that's hanging over my head. That, oh my gosh, she's epileptic. You have to treat her with kid gloves.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna treat you with kid gloves regardless, Racquel.
Really, her? I don't think so.
Hey, we ain't changed for real, for real. Listen,
I
no,
know it ain't.
listen. I'm one of the most dedicated person in life for me. You know what I'm saying? And getting things done and stuff like that. And from my view, from looking from the outside in, you have always been that type of person to me as well. You know what I mean? You've always been a rock, no pun intended. You know what I mean? for self and others and things like that. And people just look at me, and I've had people come to me like, man, I didn't realize you went through stuff like that. Or you always seem like you got your shit together. Like I didn't have a choice, or I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? And listening to your story now is like, you know what I'm saying? Wow, nobody would never know that about you because you always seem to have it together.
Right.
And my question to you is, how does it feel to you when people assume that and you don't get those calls, or just somebody just calling to check up on you?
I think I'm gonna say at first it was disturbing. It was uneasy. It was an uneasy feeling because you expect people to be like you sometimes. You expect people to treat you how you treat them. And so at first I was okay. So let me give you how I came to this. So in 2017, I pledged Delta. Okay. I am one of 23 women that pledge, all different walks of life, different areas of our, path. So when I got sick the first time in 2017, a couple months after I, finished, it was this like, oh my God, Sands, what do you need? Oh my God, Soror, it was overwhelming. Wasn't used to it. I'm like, yep, I'm good. I got my 2 or 3. Because it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. And so I got my 2 or 3 that I'm close with that I know is genuine. Because sometimes when people they, what is it? Sorrows and prayers or whatever this little catchy saying that everybody says you get those and it's, it's empty. It's you don't call me any other time or text me any other time. And that's kind of where I was at. And so I pushed back. I knew who would come, hey, we doing this, we come to get you. So I knew those people that were genuine. And then there was the other group. And so the second time around, it was radio silence. Then we have a group chat and I'm going back reading the messages and I'm like, It was a lot of speculation because my parents were only telling certain people what was going on. It wasn't on social media. And the first person that put it on social media was me.
Okay.
And that's when like everybody's like, what happened? Oh my God, you were in ICU, you were in a coma. What? Nobody said. Good. Okay. Like, but I had to realize that everyone's not gonna treat you like you treat them. And I had to reflect on the people in my life that I saw go through things. They were natural givers, doers. They were always the people that got called on to help out. And going through things, they still was that person. So I just feel like, at first it hurt, but I've come to the conclusion that I can't expect Reggie to treat me the way I would treat, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't expect that. And so I still, do everything, do the things, alumni band, TBS, Delta. I do all those things, but I just go into it knowing that I'm not going to get me from everybody else.
It's nice that you do. it's nice when you do get what you give out, but if you do what you do, like if you are who you are without expectation, when it comes, it's a beautiful surprise. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And to me, I want people to give without having to go on social media like, yeah, went to go see so and so, did this, did that. She was down and out.
So,
Just do. Just
so
do.
what you saying that would that be a question you would tell your past self, or would it be something different?
I think you have to go, you have to really learn that. You have to really learn because now at first I was like, what's the how was it? I'm a do you, I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me. That's kind of where I was at first, but then the more and more kind of by myself and really leaning into my faith, it was, you know what? I can't be mad. I can't be mad. Can't be mad that you didn't call. I can't be mad that you didn't check up on me when you knew what was going on. I just can't be mad. I can't.
So
Oh,
so let me ask you this: is there anything you would tell your past self then?
just to continue to lean on your faith. It'll all make sense. It'll all make sense.
Now,
because you have to go through these lessons to understand how to move, how to navigate. And so had I not gotten sick, I don't think that I would have ever learned that lesson of it's okay to give and do, but understanding that everyone's not going to do the same for you. Right. So I think that I had to kind of go through that and kind of feel those feelings, feel all the feels. Right. Because if I hadn't, I think that I would have still kind of been that person who kind of walked around a little naive to the fact that everyone helps everybody per se. You know what I'm saying? I have family members that didn't even call check up on me. Close, grew up with cousins that I grew up with, more like sisters, brothers, that didn't check up on me. And but I have to remember when they're down and out, I'm going to still be the one to check on them.
Could that be
possible?
Could that be, because the Rock that we know of back in the day, you know, is a brassy motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's a brassy motherfucker, and people be like, "Fuck her," type shit. You know what I'm saying?
And what was the response?
What I'm getting to is that somebody told me, it was years later, and it's since I went down to Florida. There's a co-teacher of mine. She was like, "You're guarded," and I was. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, being guarded. You know what I'm saying? When you're guarded, people don't really know who you are because we don't let them in. You know what I'm saying? We're truly honest about self. So then people don't know that if you're sick or if you're well or if I should call you and all those type of things. So that's why I've become so transparent with my situation, with my life, with what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, what I found out was I'm not the only one that's going through it. I always felt like it's just me that's going through this pain. It's me that's sick. It's me that, you know what I mean? Until I got in my trouble and I started going through my journey. And this guy had the same story as me. And he's sitting across from me in this group. And I'm listening to him. I'm like, if this guy can be that open and honest, you know, transparent, then let me try it. Yeah. And once I started doing that, so much weight and change started breaking off. And then I realized that other people was going through it too. Like, whoa. And it became a therapeutic type of situation. So do you think because you're guarded, that's probably why people don't reach out to you and everything?
I think that when people see me and I have the no expression, it's the she mean, she this, but I can show anybody pictures of me when I was first born, same expression. Like I have, my dad has the same expression. It's just that thing. And I also, people don't know that up until maybe 6th grade, I really didn't talk to a lot of people. Like I talked to my family, but I wasn't talkative. I wasn't outgoing. I just wasn't that person. And so that is something that as I get older, I definitely learned to be more outgoing because I am an introvert. I'm an extrovert introvert. I know how to turn it on, turn it off. But tell you what, honey, her said I be at the parties, yep, but I'm just as content being curled up on the couch.
Right.
Watching my reruns of Homicide from back in the early 90s. I'm good.
I feel. I
You
mean,
see, so
it's like that. It's like nowadays you don't need all that extra. I mean, like at this point, you know who those people that's gonna be there for you. You know who those people that's not gonna be there for you. I mean, there's nothing to prove to nobody no more. There really never was. Yeah. So there's people out there that, like you were saying, you put your stuff on Facebook. Hey, I'm so sorry about your loss, blah, blah, blah. Sorry about this, blah, blah, blah. All that just empty messages to put on there. I'm not a Facebook person. I'm not a TikTok person. I'm not an Instagram person. You don't need to know what's going on in my life unless you're in my power circle. You know what I'm saying? If you're in that circle, you know what's going on. I mean, like, everything else is just, it is what it is. If you know what's going on, you know what's going on. Like what you just saying. You know,
I just like when I look and talk to my son and he's going through a little situation. It's nothing like detrimental, but growing pains in college and navigating, the things that come with wanting to join things.
Go ahead and put it out there.
No, I will not. To join things and, just helping him navigate that space and really thinking it back like, dang, I can't tell him what it was like. Like, I can tell him what it was like back when we were in school, more so like me and Reggie, because social media was like a thing, but it wasn't a thing.
Oh, Black Planet, MySpace,
College Club, like it was a thing, but it wasn't a thing. Like
AOL dial up.
So it's they're searching. They're advertising something, take it down. They're searching your social media. You gotta have a burner page and
a burner page.
It's so different, and he's just like, Mom, I just wish it was like when I hear y'all talk about y'all's process. Like, I just wish it was like that. And I was like, I don't think you want that, but it's just, it's social media. It has its ups and downs, but for what I do, hey, it's great. I'm learning. Like, I'm about to step out of my comfort zone and like branch out into this TikTok stuff, but I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't do a lot of sharing. I don't do a lot of sharing. With my, how can I say this? I at first, and I think that people may think I'm guarded for this reason. I was trying to figure out people's motives when they found out I was sick.
Okay.
Because in 2017, it went out online. And I don't blame anybody because we were trying to really figure out, hey, had you seen something when we were together? And so I think that was kind of the reason. But I had a lot of people in 2017 that I hadn't talked to in years. Like, girl, I saw you good. You sure? And then I heard stories and things of that nature. The wildest one is that I had syphilis on the brain.
What?
Yes. I was like, I get tested all the time. Because we outside. Wow. I just thought that it was just weird. And I was just like, we just making up all kinds of things, people.
I don't even understand that one. But before we
it's a thing. It is a thing.
Syphilis on the brain?
It is a thing.
Lord.
But it's not my thing.
Well, I wonder if the symptoms are even remotely related to epilepsy, though.
I mean, they can seize. They can
Oh,
seize. But there are a lot of things that can cause you to seize. Alcohol withdrawals, drug withdrawals,
diabetes,
you know.
blood sugar dropping, yeah.
I mean, medicines. And at that time, I was on no medicines. Taking nothing, not even a blood pressure pill, nothing. So I just thought it was very odd that people had came up with their own stories and narratives. And so I get what you're saying, Herb, about social media. It's just when it is a thing that we have to use sometimes. You know, so people can't think that I'm guarded. Those people who try to reach out and I kind of shut them down. But I feel like if you're genuine, you would push through sometimes.
Absolutely.
If something's guarded. So it's a double-edged sword.
My dog Herb, my dog, Mr. Tail Dog, Mr. Cool Breeze. Hey, look at here. Cool Breeze went missing one motherfucker couple of days. Shit. I'm calling sister, mama. Hey, we called them all. We found this
as you should. If right.
You know,
let me tell you,
MF on a cruise.
Let me tell you something. When I the first seizure, and I went back to work. I couldn't drive. My 19, she just moved to Frankfurt. She was like, "You staying with me for homecoming?" I was like, "No, I'm good." She was like, "You staying with me for homecoming? Like we doing all the things." She said, "You're gonna have fun."
That's right.
And that was the click for me to be like, you right.
Yeah, that's what's
right.
Up. But listen, we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Absolutely, let's go.
Everything, and we're gonna put some little smoke in the air.
Yeah, boy.
I'm in the house. I can't smoke in the house, but y'all
I can't smoke in the house right now either. my smoking comes after the podcast end. I smoke.
But that's all right. Look,
what brand do you have? What brand do you have?
Bourbon
that I'm smoking on right now.
Yeah,
this is a Don Racquel right here.
Okay.
Don
Racquel. I think it says Tatiana.
I like the one that I like is what is it? Is it Fat Betty Bottoms? Is that the brand? It's nice. It's smooth. It's not too sweet, but it's not too
Oh yeah, I forgot you did say you go to cigar bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you've been at Jake's.
Series R's too. But listen, at this point right here, this is the time of the segment. This is one of our segments. We put smoke in the air.
All right.
Is when you tell a band story.
Oh.
Being that is silly, cool, or bound, chicka bound. You ain't gotta say no names. But say name shit. Say
no.
What's those names?
Because I'm gonna tell you, I was just talking about this story.
Uh-oh.
Because we were talking about Tuskegee's their homecoming that just passed, and talking about the shooting and whatnot. And I was like, we were all trying to figure out like when was the last time we were there, when was the first time. And I was like, man, I said the Tuskegee trip that that I remember. I remember ITB came and got us. We went to a hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I remember James Mason. We were drinking Boone's Farm and Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey.
Wow.
Because that was when Mr. Chambers' mom had just passed, and so Griff and Miss Bennett took us, and we were in that. We were in. It was a hotel. No, it was a motel. Excuse me. It was a motel.
That was a motel.
It was not a hotel. And I just remember going to the party and then waking up the next day throwing up. I don't remember
Wild Turkey.
You had fun.
I remember they, of course, the afterwards we was fighting over chicken sandwiches. People cut their foot in the room. I was like, what?
Y'all didn't want no turkey. You just wanted to fight over chicken sandwiches.
That's when Hardee's had came out with them spicy chicken sandwiches. And I think they were like 2 for $3. And everybody, after we would go out the band, everybody would just go. But yeah, that was an interesting trip. I just remember it was Wild Turkey and Boone's Farm. And James had a bunch of people in his room from the percussion section. And I was like, I just came for my drink. I just came for my drink.
I remember that trip.
That was an interesting trip.
With Tuskegee always set it out for us, man. Whenever we went down there, and we set it out for them when they came up to us. But
absolutely,
that's one of those trips I talk about where he trusted me. TC trusted me with all the funds, with all the money. I had the briefcase and everything like that. So you know what I'm saying, just to watch because I wasn't in the band at that time. I was just around.
Weren't. Yeah,
You was just a groupie.
I'm a groupie. Hey, I'm a straight band head groupie. I'm a straight band
groupie. It's all right.
Hey, especially with them thick ones.
He was following behind him like, girl.
Listen, speaking of thick ones, I'm gonna tell you a story about somebody. I believe it was their freshman year, and I'm standing in front of the band hall door and everything like
freshman year. For somebody's freshman year in the band or in college. Because it's two
band. It would have been a band because I don't know if it was the first year of college. All I know, I think this is my crab year's drum major. I believe it was. Okay. And this person walked up to me and say this. I know you got a girl. I just want to fuck you. And I went,
oh Jesus.
Is this how the women get down in college? Hell yeah, baby.
Like, yep, I want that one right there.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's talking about.
You know, I need to be more bold like that in my life. Yeah.
They are
aggressive. I know not what you speak of. Lord. I know not what you
Did you do it, Reggie?
Did you do it, Reggie? Did you do it, Reggie? Did you do it, Reggie?
Did you want to do it?
At that time, no. I was engaged at that time.
Oh, you didn't add that part of the story.
Well, I mean, that wasn't part of the story. The first story was about Ain't talking about them. That person ain't even in the story no more. They ain't even in the life no more. You know
I have a question. It's related to what we just talked about, but it might be a little off topic. So, is it cheating if you just have a girlfriend and you mess around, or if you're engaged? Like, is it different?
No, it's the same thing.
It's cheating. It's cheating.
Yeah. If you're in a relationship with somebody, regardless of what the status is,
you cheat.
Messing around, you cheat.
It's cheating.
Because if you're engaged, it's still your girlfriend. You just engaged.
And even if it's not a physical relationship, if it's an emotional relationship, it's still cheating.
It's still cheating.
Yeah, it's still cheating.
Because your heart's with somebody else.
That person I'm talking about didn't give no two fucks about my person that I was with.
Well, it's a good thing you did.
Glad you stood your ground, Black. I commend you on that.
That was the second time that shit happened to me when I got down there. Like
you think you was being set up?
No, I just wasn't used to women doing that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm coming from in hearts of hearts, I'm a romantic. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Virgo, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a lover first. So I'm a giver, right? So my thing is to get to know people, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? The roses to take you out, type shit. That's where I was coming from. So to have a woman approach me that way, like, whoa,
like, damn all that roses shit, nigga.
Yeah, right. Damn all that bullshit. And like the first time it happened to me, we playing truth dare, double dare, promise to repeat shit. So we end up playing just dare. And this person was like, man, fuck all this dare shit. Let's just go. I'm taking you to my house right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's ride. So, you know what I'm saying? But that taught me to change my attitude when it comes to college girls and things like that. So that's when the numbers began to play the factor.
So did that approach from that particular woman or any woman who might approach you like that, would that change your level?
Man, I like how this no name is keep getting thrown around out here.
I mean, look, Herb, now come on, read between the lines. Come on, God.
Right. But I'm curious now, beyond the no name person, let's just say in a general sense, a woman moves forward with a man. Do you think that the man would look at her differently, respect level wise?
Depend on how you approach, right? Like that person approach and a mature, straight up thing. But if you're approaching me, but every man is different, so I can't speak for every man. But if you're approaching me and somehow or another I feel like you sluttish or hoish, you know what I mean? I can't get down with that. And reason why I can't get down with that because the way that I'm wired is that you got something. You're trying to give me something. and I don't want no gift that I can't give back. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm already thinking that you just got finished fucking 9 niggas 2 hours ago, you know what I mean? I don't want to be number 10 coming up in that because I don't know what you got. You know what I'm saying? Why is it so
if it's been 2 hours?
I don't want it that easy.
You said it's been 2 hours.
I don't want that easy.
But I also think kind of where we were at K-State, you know, I was always like, I knew, you know, I knew who I could be like, yeah, okay. Everybody's in their spot, and then look, I ain't putting you out there, don't put me out. But I was always afraid that that one person that I kicked it with was gonna be like, I was gonna end up on the freak list. I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the thing is, that's college. So college, college is college, man. I mean, like everything that people done in college should stay at college. I mean, you can't fault somebody for their now for what they did in their past. I mean, that's just wrong.
It's true.
They only remember it.
I mean, you young, you free, no parents around. I mean, why not be like that? I mean,
yeah, everybody's fucking horny. You early 20s, 19.
I get that. But y'all remember the freak list evolved into a whole video at K-State.
That's because there was one person that just wanted to, you know, make a Luke video and, you know, get them Luke tapes out there, you know.
Because I know a person, you know, when she got on there, this just happened to be the kind of light they were using. She had a dress on and it looked see-through. She did not rebound from that.
A lot of people did. A lot of people ended up leaving school, you know what I'm saying, never to return because they
And those stories like are still being told.
Mm-hmm.
So I get Herb, trust me, I agree with you, and I agree with you, Reggie, that it's college, we're free, we're learning. But my fear was always because my older cousins went to K-State.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 cousins that were in the band. I had the under Barry Johnson. I had a cousin who was Miss KSU, and that was the one thing they told me: don't get on no freak list.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, bullying is bullying, regardless of how you look at it.
Absolutely.
About it. It's more about how that person goes about it. So there's people with mind frames that, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna put her on blast or put him on blast. Mm-hmm. But then there's people out there that's like, hey, we just out there have a good time. Let's do our good time and keep on with our business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, there's people in the world like that now, still to this day.
Oh, absolutely.
Do that. You know. But, you know, bullying is bullying, so there's really no way to escape it or to accept it. It's just the way the life is, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be life, period. But yeah, it can destroy people's lives though too.
I would tell them young pups that, you know what I'm saying, whenever I'm talking to the cats, listen here, man, you on this college campus. Mm-hmm. Just about everybody's fucking everybody. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you can fuck, because you're gonna be fucking. But if you can't fuck, you better not be going to go talk to nobody because they're going to put your ass on blast, homie.
Absolutely. That, and then like the Champ School, that, what was it? Last fall, they did away with visitation because that was the largest freshman class. Well, they were just on campus, out in the open.
What?
The new generation, baby.
Hey, it's loose.
In the middle of the day, like in the daytime.
Hey, we come from out there. Hey, we animals, baby. Why not?
Let's take that back to. Hey, let's get primal on their ass.
Yeah.
I never judge people who are that free in their sexuality. I almost like borderline admire them because I don't have that in me. Mm-hmm. But I've learned in my adult years that I'm just not wired like that for Wi-Fi connections. That's how I like to call them, where I just connect wherever there's Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. I'm not wired to do that. Mm-hmm. I gotta have more, and it gotta mean something to me.
You'll see it all day long.
I did it.
I have had instances where I've had 1 or 2 in my lifetime, 1 or 2, maybe 3. But I always went into it under the pretense of, oh, this could be more. Because I was thinking, you know, like the women be thinking, oh, I could change him. Mm-hmm. I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, once we do this, he's going to want more. No, and it never worked out like that. Mm-hmm. You know, so now I don't even indulge in those type of activities.
Now I can say this, that I had this situation. It was mutual. Like we met 25 years ago. this past summer, and we have kind of revisited each other, and it's a different situation. And I get it. But we were in that spot, we doing our thing, and now it's let's see what this is 25 years later.
That's because y'all both matured.
Yeah.
That I think so. That, and
you got the people in your ear either.
I think that I am in that situation, like in that kind of realm. I'm not as sensitive as I once was.
Well, in college, you got guys and guys' ears about don't mess with her, don't do this, don't do that. You got women in women ear, don't mess with him, don't do that, don't do this. When y'all get older, some of those people are not in their life, and those people that are still in those people's life, that mean they might be doing something good for them. So as you got older, that 25 years later, them people gone.
Yeah.
But also, I think too, kind of dealing with I think maturing in just life in general, more so like people, but just in life, because like Glow got the aunties in the uproar, and I'm one of the aunties. What is it? Her Glow's parent, she said, she says, God help me to forgive my baby's father, even though he don't like me. And I'm like, that's me. Like, I definitely settled for that relationship with my son's father because it felt good at that time. It felt like I felt like this is love, but it wasn't, very much a narcissist. But I can look back now and say, I know he don't like me, but I want nothing to happen to him.
Right.
Speaking of,
that's living life.
Speaking of him, which I don't know who he is,
He went to Benedict. He went to Benedict. I met him when he played Benedict person.
We've had a very rocky relationship. We just did not trust or like each other. I never understood why for a very long time.
Now I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
One thing came back to me when I was pregnant, and it was like Reggie said, she don't know who her baby's daddy is. I was like, the hell? Like, what? And then it was like Reggie said, Mike's her baby daddy, my best friend. And I said, well, I could see Mike. That's my best friend. That was my rider. That's my homie.
That's what I said. It wasn't.
And so I couldn't understand that, but
I didn't care who nobody was fucking. I ain't fucking if I wasn't in the room. I don't care. But it was Mike. This is why. It's because Rock was always around us. Even though we didn't communicate, she was always around us. And then people say, Rock had a baby. When the fuck she was even pregnant?
I was good and pregnant at that pro show with my girls.
And
good
only
and
person that I knew that was around her, we had a brother that would come in town that she was friends with and everything. He would stay with her and all that kind of shit, or he'll come in town. We don't even know his ass in town. So I'm like, that nigga Mike, they ain't no motherfucker friends. I told that ass up.
And let me tell you how good of a friend he was. Him and his dad, like his whole family. When I had Deshaun, I got offered a job in Birmingham, like 2 weeks after graduating. And his dad was like, come on, we're gonna keep him. You can stay here. It's all good. And my mom was like, but my baby. And
yeah. But I said that to say that out of all those years that we had that rocky relationship, but through maturity, through discipline, and through my new journey, she and I was able to talk about 2 motherfucking hours. Now it took for me to go back to Kentucky, you know what I'm saying, for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? But I had always said anybody that I have wronged in life, I wanted to stand on my 10 toes and stand, take my accountability in that fuck up. So I took that opportunity because there was some dumb shit that happened that particular day. You know what I'm saying? And I just took that opportunity since she was there to say, hey, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I fucked up.
I think, but I think we both were, because I was able to say, hey, I know I said some things and I own it. And with that whole situation, I can share this here. Yes, because you know what? He did it in the public's eye last weekend. Al Lover ended up not liking me and some other people. alums. I got blamed for some stuff that it was not me. I have later found out who did what, said what, and I didn't feel the need to go and be like, no, I told you I didn't. I didn't, some people are going to hold on to stuff and they've got to learn who said what, did what, and they've got to work through their own.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Level showed his natural black behind last weekend at Central State against Kentucky State. Called the police on the band, on Kentucky State's band.
Oh.
Said they couldn't battle. And he said if they battled again, he's going to call the police and have them escorted out.
Oh.
And a blue on K-State marching in the stadium. Isn't that you drew first blood? And I just say that to say I wish him nothing but the best up there, because at the end of the day, I want to see everybody win. If that's what you want to do, if you doing what you want to do, I want to see you win, because it does me no good for you to lose. What does that do for me?
Nothing
at all. I was just hurt that the kids that he recruited to Kentucky State saw that in him, because those kids, when the new band director got there, they were positive and respectful to the new band director, but I don't think they ever thought that he was going to turn the table and do that. And so I hope that things are better there.
We don't know people's reasoning.
No, we don't.
A lot of situations or whatever happens and when it happened, you don't know. It's just like I just said earlier. Well, I didn't say it earlier, but I would tell young cats this too. If you ain't there to see that person, that dick in that pussy, then you can't say if that person fucked them or not. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I wasn't. You stupid. I ain't there to know exactly what happened or the reason why things happen. So you know what I mean?
Right.
We're transparent. You know
Absolutely.
What I'm saying? You speak your truth. Speak your truth and everything. Everybody have a chance. Everybody have a chance to speak their truth. But yeah,
maybe
man,
one day, he and I will squash it. I don't know. I didn't, but I know the person who did some things underhandedly.
But is it worth it? Is it worth it?
I'm talking about squashing things because in the field that I'm getting ready to go into, that I'm in, I have some things that I want to do, because there are a lot of students here in Kentucky who want to go to HBCUs, want to be in band programs. A lot of those band programs don't come.
Is it worth squashing it with someone who you may
who doesn't want to?
Who may not want to, or who you've had friction with? You know what I mean?
I think it's, how can I say this? Like you said, you wanted to talk to me. You said what you had to say. You stood 10 toes down. I have to stand 10 toes down, even if it's not receptive, even if it's not received. I know I did my part. And sometimes we have to do that in life. And
that's it.
Being that, even though, my business survived without, rectifying that part with that relationship with that person, absolutely. I have connections everywhere. I know people at all, a bunch of schools, but I feel like I would be doing people a disservice that may want to go there if I can't at least have a good work. Huh? No, but if they want to be in the band and he's the band director, got to have a working relationship about helping them. I want to be able to make a call and say, hey, I got about 10 kids and won't come up here. I know this is our business. I don't want somebody to ignore my phone call to help these kids because you're still holding on to, because it's not about me. It's about, the work that I do and helping people, live out their dreams. If your dream is to play the triangle at Central State, baby, I'm gonna help you get there. Ding, ding, up and down that field.
Ding, ding, motherfucker.
Speaking of that,
you see what
how did you end up in marching bands and stuff? How did you end up in the band?
So I played the clarinet. In high school, I was adamant, Ain't no black people in my band in my high school. I wouldn't. You no, and that's just I was that girl. I wasn't doing. I wasn't. I went to Dunbar in Lexington. I can tell you how many black people was in the band, and all black people in the band wasn't black people. So it wasn't my thing. When I got accepted to Jackson, I wasn't gonna be in the band down there either. I wanted to just be in school, and that was the plan at K-State. April Calhoun asked me, "Come on, let's go to clinics. Come on." I said, "Girl, no, I got spring football." I tried to juggle that because I was also that was my work study as a student athletic trainer, and I tried to juggle that first season, and that was hard. And so I just went on to work with Mr. Chambers in his office, and I gave that up. But yeah, I went because of April, and I was like, I'm gonna see how I like it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then when they were talking about we had to sew our own uniforms, I was like, oh, what?
You had to sew uniforms for what?
The flag squad at K-State.
Oh,
we would be on the bus going to
they used to put their little glitter shit on. That's all. It wasn't the whole uniform.
No, but wasn't nobody else sewing their own stuff on the bus.
Yeah, y'all should learn how to sew anyway.
Well, you should. Everybody should. But it was just it was different. It was different. And so after that first show, I didn't know if I was really, up until I got picked up for TBS. But at first I was like, this might be a one and done season. Especially when we went to Miles and we was on them in them bleachers under them. You would know.
Hey, is that the
old stadium?
All them hoes fat?
No, that was at Tuskegee. That was in Tuskegee when it rained.
I remember
it
that
rained,
shit.
and it was like we were already ITB in.
Okay.
But because it rained and their auxiliary came over and got the K-Rets, and then we just standing there under our flags. And I said, I cannot believe that. And then the sky stopped. It just stopped raining as soon as Tuskegee took the field. But yeah, no, that was Tuskegee. Miles, that was they didn't even have their own stadium then, and we were on these concrete bleachers. Hot as hell. Concrete bleachers. Yeah. And it was that's all I can say about that game. That game. That was an interesting game, that first game.
I told that story about that game on one of the podcasts. It was like, because that's my Neo year as drum major, and that's the first performance. It was the first performance.
It was,
my birthday weekend and everything, and leading up to that,
we traveled and everything. Yeah,
we gonna get fucked up before we hit this field. Being in the band, that's what we were doing. So I done got twisted the night before, and that sun got on my ass, and that long ass march going to that damn stadium. That sun was on me. And I went to go hit my flex, and in my mind, I'm saying, this ain't going to be good. This is just not going to be good. You know what I mean? So from that point on, I never had anything to drink before performance.
Yeah, that was, I'm trying to, something else about that trip. It was something about them because they hadn't had a band program that long either, at that time either.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, when we played them then in fall of 98, after talking to Mike and getting to know him, because he came back home, they hadn't had a band program that long at Miles. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I remember Miles. Miles was a good trip. But listen, we coming to this segment here. It's called Build Your Perfect Marching Band or Band. From the band director all the way back to the percussion. You know what I'm saying? Where would you get your band director from? Where would you get your drum majors from? Your dancers, your flags, your trumpets, or just the whole band or your percussion? Where would you get them from?
Okay, interesting. I would have to get I will have to say TC be the band director. I can't see it no other way. Because he is that good mix of, Dow Taylor, that, old Kentucky State, what Jackson was, that's Chambers, because he knew our history, and he knows that our history is intertwined with Jackson. So I would say TC as the band director. Now, this might be controversial to the K-State family, but I'm going to say A&T's auxiliary, because they do everything. They dance and they are flags. So I'm going to say A&T's auxiliary, because I'm very impressed that those girls they're dedicated to know everything. So I'm going to say A&T's auxiliary. I'm going to skip around. I'm going to say FAMU's tubas.
Okay.
Percussion. I'm gonna say the Bongo Brothers, South Carolina State. I like them. They different. I think yeah, that's what they call, right? South Carolina State, they call Bongo Brothers.
I don't know.
I think.
Let's find out.
If not, I'm sorry.
I'll look them up because I'm curious now.
I think so, because I'm thinking of KJ, and I think that's what they're called. But if I'm wrong, I apologize.
You said they're from West. Oh wait, SCSU.
South Carolina State.
Bongo Brothers.
Okay.
It came right up when I typed it in. Okay.
Okay.
Guess you got faster internet than me.
Brass. I'm going to.
I like this little dance she doing. She like. Go ahead, Racquel. Shimmy it out.
I'm thinking hard because I'm thinking of the discussions I've had with Deshaun. And he would say Jackson, and I would say Southern. Because I feel like they go back and forth as brass. Like it's kind of that tug of war. So I'm gonna go Southern. Woodwinds, because I don't want to say trumpets, and I'm just gonna say woodwinds. I'm gonna say Bethune, because I feel like for them to be a large band, they've always been balanced, and I think it's Doc keeps them balanced. I'm gonna say Bethune's woodwinds, because they always seem like it's just balanced with them being so large. And I know this is usually not a section of the band, but band managers, I'm gonna always say K-State. We had good band managers.
She the first person to put the band managers in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard nobody say it.
But
that's her perfect band. They gotta have band managers.
You gotta have band managers. You gotta have people do the work. And the reason why I say that is because when I got to K-State in fall '97, I look up and Shantae's in the band. I said, Shantae, you play no instrument? She said, no, I'm a band manager, but sometimes he had me hold the clarinet in the uniform. That's a ride or die band manager. That is a ride or die band manager.
I just learned today what the role of a band manager was, because I didn't know.
I mean, they passed out the music, they did whatever the band director said, but Mr. Chambers used to lean on Shantae. Get that uniform, you gotta get plugged into a show.
The dumbest thing ever. That shit was dumb as shit.
But yeah, I had to throw that one in there.
It's her perfect band.
You missing two people.
Drum majors.
I'm gonna put your ass in the cut.
Oh yeah, drum majors.
Drum major, man.
Everybody forgets the drum majors constantly. All the fucking time. Everybody.
Even former drum majors.
It don't matter.
You've had on here?
It don't matter.
No, I said even former drum majors you've had on here.
Yeah, anybody.
No, I'm saying they've forgotten the drum majors.
No.
Oh.
Let me see.
Drum majors.
No, Maverick. I think Maverick put me up there. I think Maverick.
Yep, he did.
Oh.
I believe he did.
Now, because I only had two. I had you and Michael Simpson. Now, I'm gonna say you, because
But it
people,
can come from anywhere. It don't have to come from
well,
K-State.
no, I'm gonna say you, and this is the reason why, because we had this conversation with Dr. Chisholm. He was like, I like y'all style, y'all old style, because y'all was doing y'all, but it was like a little bit of Jackson. But I know the history, and that's why I would say you, because you were the example that he said. You were that good cross between Jackson and then K-State still being original, like not being like somebody else. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
And so so it's, I think, in the band world, it's like you can kind of look now and only certain schools still have like that style that we know them for. But some of the schools are starting to it's all getting meshed.
Yeah, everybody's starting to look like everybody.
Yeah, like to me, Southern, so they gonna, regardless how big Southern get, they gonna always have that one drum major.
Silky smooth, baby. It's gonna always be silky smooth.
Always gonna be one. Jackson, they always gonna have J5 or J4 or J4, but they ain't gonna be no more than 5.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Bethune's always gonna have the 4 horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
Look
at Rock knowing her shit. Look at her knowing her shit. The motherfucker
Look at her name that band. She's like, I'm on it.
But I'm just saying, but
right.
to be ITV and to be in this world, you have to know. And so to me, when I look at it as a whole, it's like it's a mesh right now. Like the band world is a mesh, but you still have certain schools that still stand out. So yeah.
You forgot the dancing girls, or you just put
auxiliary? No, I didn't say auxiliary. I would use A&T because they do everything. They dance and they do the flag.
That's the first one she said.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought she was putting that the flag. Yeah.
But this is the thing. But that's where it's going. That the auxiliary now have most schools, they do everything because at their high school they're doing everything.
Blah.
Hey, bro, she's auxiliary. Come on, dog.
I'm being. But you know what?
Hey, represent.
I'm being honest because that's kind of where
that is your
evolving.
Ain't
it's
no
evolving.
black. She didn't want no drum major. That auxiliary got a drum major band, dog.
You probably only try to get me back because I used to be like, flag girls are obsolete. Y'all are obsolete.
Hey, auxiliary is gonna be up there.
It's your opinion.
That's all it is. It's just my opinion.
Thing,
we love you on no band trips, though.
Why you let him on a band trip?
Because we all kicked it. We drank. We did the thing. Everybody did all the things. We had fun. Yeah, at the end of the day, I can say this: we were a family because no family's perfect. Families have conflict, but I feel like the one thing about
like she about to take a sneeze.
Yeah, right there at that mark. They got right there. It's always the third one. It's always the third one.
What happened?
Oh, you stopped.
No, it's like all the screens was like, but yeah. So the one that's what I liked about our band, our era at K-State. They attacked the band. The football team was gonna ride with us too. So I just think that we was just a large dysfunctional family.
That's what's up. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you jumping on this podcast with us and having a little fun. You know what I mean? Saying get some things off. We learned a lot about you today, right? You know what I mean? And this was great. Listen, people out there, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up and that like button for us. And remember, man, go ahead and donate some of that little change that you got in your pocket and stuff like that, man. It costs some money to run these type of things. You know what I mean? Make sure you put some comments down in the comment box. And you know what I'm saying? If you got some questions, hey, we're answering. We'll put it on the next podcast and everything like that. So listen, Rock, thank you. We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? This is a testimony of no matter what you go through in life,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever beefs you got in life is too short.
Absolutely.
With anybody and be just, you know what I'm saying, disgruntled with anybody. Just get with that person and just have a conversation.
That's right.
Say what you have to say. They say what you have to say, and that's all you have to do.
Life's too short.
Too short. So we appreciate you.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.